Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. Sunday afternoon in Natchitoches, Louisiana, law enforcement found Letty Dolores Jasso, a former part-time clerk in the Hopkins County Justice of the Peace Precinct 1 office, hiding under a stairwell at an apartment complex. Jasso was wanted on 20 warrants in Hopkins County after a regular internal audit of court records found discrepancies. Jasso was wanted for tampering with government documents by a public servant and credit card abuse. The case had been turned over to the Texas Rangers. Both Rangers and a recent tip through Crime Stoppers assisted in locating Jasso in Louisiana. She's jailed there, awaiting extradition to Hopkins County. Hopkins County Commissioner's Court said no burn ban for the county at this time. The perpetual summer threat of a burn ban continues, but with precipitation in the forecast for later this week, commissioners did not impose a burn ban Monday morning during their regular session. Commissioners did hear a report on activities from the county extension agents. Johanna Hicks told the court that her emphasis for the next year will focus on nutrition and health. Hopkins County has poor scores for quality of life, physical activity, cardiovascular deaths, uninsured, and poverty. Obesity is also a problem in the county. She did note that the county extension office will soon have an intern to assist with 4-H and other activities. The intern will be paid for by state funds, and the program will serve as a training ground for future AgriLife extension agents. Among those present Monday was Catherine Krantz, candidate for Congress. She faces incumbent Republican John Ratcliffe in the November general election. Krantz is on an 18-county listening tour, sitting in on county and city government meetings to focus on the needs in the district. No county residents spoke regarding the tax revenue increase. County Clerk Debbie Shirley did outline the revenue increase based on property values. Commissioners did approve accepting to the county road inventory 3 roads in the Country Club Estates subdivision. They are now up to county standards. They also approved financing for the Civic Center roof. EMS responders from Hopkins County and the EMS Ambus, which served during Hurricane Harvey, marked the anniversary by attending the City of Rockport and Aransas County Hurricane Harvey anniversary event, Onward. The event was to honor the community and first responders for their efforts during and after Hurricane Harvey made landfall in Aransas County. Dignitaries in attendance included U.S. Congressman Michael Cloud and U.S. Senator Ted Cruz. The City of Rockport and Aransas County has made tremendous strides in recovery, and the efforts of the local community shows the pride of Texans helping Texans, said Brent Smith, EMS Director for Hopkins County. Here's Don Julian with sports.
It's football season opener week for the Wildcats, and I talked with Wildcats offensive coordinator Matt Young about the scrimmage last Thursday and the Frisco-Wakeland defense that the Wildcats will be facing Friday night at Frisco Memorial Stadium.
If we'll take care of the ball, we can put a lot of points on the board. I think we got a lot of guys that can make plays. I believe we got a really good grasp of what we're trying to do. Our execution for a scrimmage was extremely high. But as always, things to work on from pad level to stems on routes, and definitely putting the ball away. 4 turnovers is not acceptable. Really happy with our O-line the first night. We're a little thin. We had one that was hurt. We had a couple that had been hurt and it came back. So we got some new starters. Philip Rader coming in at left tackle. Charlie Maddox is back. Those guys did a tremendous job. We really have 3 tackles. Haas, Daniel, our big Haas, he rotates in as the third one. They're really 3 starters. They're all interchangeable. Inside, I thought Ethan Rogers started to show what he's capable of as being just physically dominant as our center. He did a great job leading the crew. Giovanni Pisano did a good job. Then Jacob Janitis, and then brought a youngster up and gave a look because of some of our depth stuff. Alfredo Olivete did a great job. And so that's a lot of weight. Those guys are 300 pounds, 330, some big boys, but they moved really well. They handled Ellie's quickness. And just really excited what they brought. It really kind of started us off pretty efficient in the run game for a scrimmage.
Well, as far as returners from injury, is that kind of a game time thing for you?
Yeah, Ryan Hammonds right now is dealing with some stuff, so we're hoping he progresses, and it'd be nice to add him back in. Jacob Janitis is dealing with some things, was able to play through it some the other night. So we'll kind of see. I mean, it's football season. You're going to have some nicks and bruises. and hopefully nothing major from anybody.
Yeah.
But a good start with those guys up front. I think DeCorian got touched one time, and it was a route where he held the ball a little bit long. They didn't blitz, they didn't make it complicated, but they did what they should against what we went against.
I've got Frisco Wakeland to open up. Never played them before, as far as I know. They're 12 years old. A new quarterback from I think started last year JV. A good running back sounds like, and maybe a really good receiver. So, to get your impressions of them.
They're defensively, they're very similar to us. The kids play really hard, lots of gang tackling, and they'll blitz into things to try to help them. There's nothing flashy about them. They've got one outside linebacker that's kind of when he walks out, you notice him. The other guys just do a great job. They understand their gaps, they understand their fits. They're going to do a great job of forcing the edge and make things turn up. The DBs play with various techniques that all help them, from zone turns to man turns, the inside leverage, the outside leverage. It all fits together. And this is a team that's been in the playoffs for multiple years in a row. So it ought to be a great opportunity for us. We're looking to see us progress. Consistency in the run game, but progressing in the passing game, just a little bit more there as we begin to cut DeCorian loose and continue to see those guys on the outside make plays.
It's fun to think about the quarterback with all his weapons now, and
yeah,
all he can do.
With what we have possible, it's really a great test for DeCorian to kind of grasp, because they're pretty multiple in where they'll be. I hope I can help him as a play caller to keep him in positions to be successful, but at the same time he's got to diagnose some things. And with Austin Dodd and Landry and Jace, and you throw in Payson and Bergen and McQueen and Haney, there's just a lot of options out there, and it's really going to be interesting to see who has the big night. That's what we talk about with those guys. It's really a team big night, because we don't know who it's going to go to. We don't know who's going to happen to be in because they didn't play defense. We don't know the coverage is going to allow the ball to go to a certain place. Just when you have your opportunity, go make a play.
Sharing players, Coach Owen said he thought pretty smooth. First game is working for you.
It was. Coach McCain pointed out in the secondary at one point, I think we had 5 DBs on the field offensively. So we had to find guys. We went on defense first, so we were able to say, okay, well, those guys are out there and a long drive. Let's take these guys, and it doesn't miss a beat. A lot of guys from inside and outside playing multiple spots. We've got Jermon, who gives a little flexibility with B and in the slot. So we've got a lot of things that allow us to get our best players on the field that are in the best, not necessarily shape, but at that moment aren't fatigued. Let's go give our best right here on this snap.
I'm glad you're in mid-season form. I apologize for asking an offensive question.
Hey, it's all good. I'm impressed with their offense too. They're very crisp and efficient. I know it puts a challenge on our defensive side and our side. They do a good job of taking care of the ball, and I think it's going to be a great game Friday night.
I also talked with new Wildcats defensive coordinator Alex Guerra about last Thursday night's scrimmage and the Wakeland Wolverines offense that the Wildcats will be seeing Friday night.
Overall, I was very happy. I thought that we were rallying to the ball. I thought we tackled a lot better than I first thought. Mm-hmm. Had some quick looks at our ones. Got a lot of looks at 2s and 3s. Answered a lot of questions about depth. Felt good. Very, very positive experience. We were pretty violent, and we got to the ball in a hurry. So that's kind of what we want to do.
Talked to Coach Secord this morning from Wakeland, and he was very, very impressed with the outside linebackers. He said, they really seem to be the strength of the defense. I think you would agree with that.
Yes, sir. And that's not by my doing. Coach Abram did a great job with those guys last year and the year before. I've just kind of tried to add to them. They're just really good players. They're fast. They're aggressive. We tweak some stuff here and there, but other than that, man, I'm just letting them have at it.
Yeah. So most of the guys acquitted themselves well. I mean, you're always going to have little mistakes and things to work on.
Yeah. My biggest worry was alignment issues and stuff like that, and we didn't have that. We aligned, pretty good the whole game. Had 1 or 2 mistakes calling strength. We've changed some things up in that aspect, but other than that, I mean, I think it went well. We could work on our drops a little bit from the outside linebacker perspective. We're downhill really fast, which is what you want, but at the same time, there's a whole other half of the game in the passing game that you got to defend at that position as well.
Austin Dodd, too, from the safety, he really hits back there.
Yeah, he was flying. I was excited. That first penalty was kind of bad timing on him. I don't know. I feel like he was trying to make a statement. I had jumped him earlier in the week about jumping on a crosser, and We talked about it afterwards. The timing was awful, and you never want to hit a player defenses like that. But at the same time, you still got to applaud I guess the nature of it all, the violence of it all, and that's something we want to do. We want to be very, very aggressive to the ball. So.
Liberty Iowa, quite a test, because if you zig instead of zag, and they can go like they had that one play, 67 yards, something like that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they're always athletic. I've played them before. They were in our district when I was in East Texas, and real familiar with what they can and can't do. And I can tell you they can run.
All right.
They're very fast. So we were prepared. Our biggest deal was we didn't want to get beat deep too much, and we had a couple of footwork slip ups, and for the most part on the deep routes, those are kind of the things that we tried to clean up, and I think we did.
Very good. Okay, let's talk about Frisco Wakeland. They brought a quarterback up from JV. I guess he's unproven talent, but is a good running back with him. Got some good linemen. They've got a good receiver. They what are your impressions?
First thing we notice is they're very disciplined. They don't play outside of themselves. They stay within themselves. This is what they do, and they're very patient. Offensive coordinator there does a great job from what I see. He don't get too wild and crazy. He does what they do, and those teams are dangerous. They continue to hit you nickel and dime you here and there, and before you know it, they're up a touchdown or two. So, very disciplined, but I think we'll be okay. I think we continue to attack and fly to the ball, we'll be fine.
Do they run multiple offense, or what do they prefer?
Formations? A lot of slot trips. They also run a tray formation, tight end trips, which is always difficult to line up to. Because they have so many threats from that position. I don't like to see that a lot, but we have a defense we're chock full of seniors that have played before, and we got kids that have seen Friday night, so they'll be ready to go.
All right, so they basically are a spread offense. So.
Yeah, again, they're spread, but they're timing routes. They're quick, they're outs. I guess every now and then they'll take a shot deep. But they stay within themselves. He doesn't get greedy. They don't make silly decisions. If you give them 3, they're going to take 3. You give them 5, they're going to take 5. So he does a good job.
Anything like a first football game, a real one?
I know we're chomping at the bit as coaches, but the kids, just their demeanor, their attitude, they're ready. They're ready to have at it. They're excited. They've been positive, and man, I can't wait till Friday.
It was a productive week for the Lady Cats volleyball team as they won 7 of 8 matches they played. It started with a home win over Forney last Tuesday. The Lady Cats also took the championship of the bronze bracket in a Tyler tournament played Thursday and Saturday. The Lady Cats' only loss was to White Oak in pool play. Lady Cats defeated Hallsville and Henderson in pool play Thursday, and then Brownsboro, John Tyler, and Tyler All Saints Episcopal School in bronze bracket play on Saturday. And the Lady Cats also won at Caddo Mills Friday night. And I talked with Lady Cats volleyball coach Justin Manus.
Like I told the girls, we're trying to play as much as we can before we get into a rhythm of our Tuesdays and Fridays in district. So we finished that. So we'll be able to get into a rhythm of twice a week instead of 6 or 7 matches a week, which that's a lot of volleyball.
Very impressed with them on Saturday. You had back-to-backs, and in the second game, really challenged by John Tyler, where they took a first set that looked like we probably should have had, and that would have been a good time just to check it in and go home for the day. But to their credit, they just said none of that. We're going to play until we can't play anymore.
That's what's great about this team is you can never count them out. They. Looking at it, you would have thought we'd have dropped that match, but they were able to get it together and fight back. John Tyler was just really aggressive with the ball. They weren't afraid to swing, and we had a lot of unforced errors that we shouldn't have had in that match. But that comes with playing a lot of volleyball and being tired. I think we looked a little gassed in some of those matches, and we were able to find our second win against All Saints in the championship game. We looked really well there.
Yeah, a lot of the things that they were doing in a back-to-back looked like what I had seen us do, and we had that hour rest, and we really looked revived.
Oh, yes, we came out. Our serves looked great. We were swinging the ball well. We were passing the ball well, and we just got on top of them, set tone, and I don't think they could recoup from that.
And right in the middle, you go over to Caddo Mills, and as we've mentioned before, a good little volleyball team, and just handled them over there.
Oh, we did, and when you go play Cattle Mills, you always have to expect good volleyball, and so I was kind of concerned, being that we played so many matches, that we might be a little tired, but the girls went over there and took care of business.
Yeah, they can. It's amazing to watch them bounce back. I wish I could do that.
No kidding.
Now you got Paris on Tuesday night.
Got Paris tomorrow night. Expecting some good athletes to come over. I know quite a few of the players that play over there, and they're strong. So we're going to need to come out. It's a home game. We generally play well at home, but we need to set tone early against them, and everything should be okay.
Yeah, I was encouraged by your words last week where you said we played a lot of volleyball, but now Tuesday, Friday, and so you really expect the quality of the Lady Cats play to really start improving now.
Oh, most definitely. We're going to have more time to practice instead of being on the road and playing. There's some things we need to fix, and so by the time we get to district, I'm hoping we have all that ironed out. We'll have more time to do so.
A great season. Oh, I almost forgot to mention 20 wins already, Coach.
Yeah, I know. We're already at 20 wins, so that's pretty impressive. I think we were maybe at 16 last year around there at this point, so we're ahead of last year. We just got to keep grinding. It's a process.
The Wildcats and Lady Cats cross-country teams open cross-country season at the Commerce Tiger Invitational Saturday at Commerce High School. And we get results from cross-country coach Ross Hicks.
I thought we had a good day. We started out with the varsity girls in the morning, and they started out well. Sydney Washburn placed 7th overall. She really got out strong and had a good race to open up. Then following her was a sophomore. She did really well, and so we were pleased to see that. And then Caitlin Farrell was behind her, and we had a good group. I think that they started out kind of hot, and it kind of backfired on them a little bit. But I'm glad that they took that risk in the beginning of the season, and they went out and really competed well, and they kind of fell back in the pack a little bit. But now we'll learn how to pace ourselves and what we're capable of as we go.
Did they have a team finish?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we finished 5th out of 12 teams.
Oh, okay. And what about the Wildcats? I'm interested to hear about Landon Thornton.
Right. They placed 1st overall, and Landon won the race in 16:57, I believe, so he had a great race. He led the whole race throughout. Not too far behind him was Christian Palomino and Eli Sellers. I believe they were 4th and 7th in the race. So they had good races as well. And then behind him was Nabian Ramirez and Jose Mejia. They were our top 5, and so they were all. So I think our team score was 49, which is good. So we won the race, and they were excited about that. Again, they kind of did the same thing. They got out, and we were really confident and slid back a little bit, but we're still learning our racing strategies and how to best how to run that 5K, and so this is still early in the season. So I think we got a lot of room to improve.
Yeah, as a first race, pretty pleased with what you saw.
I was pretty pleased. There were some things. I think we were mentally focused. We were mentally ready. It's just learning how to race, making sure that that second mile. I always tell them is in a 5K is when it's won and lost. You're either gonna cave and start falling back, or you're gonna keep moving up and keep fighting through. And then if you're still in good position for that last mile, I think you really put yourself in a good strong spot to finish. So we're gonna talk about that and really focus on that moving forward, to make sure that our second mile we don't lose a lot of ground in that second mile.
What's next now for the team?
So we're headed to Wiley East next week. So it's an early morning. That race starts over there at 7:30. So we're gonna rise and shine, and we're looking forward to that. Should be some good competition. I think in our district, Greenville, and I think they may be the only ones in our district, but a lot of 5 and 6A schools from the Metroplex area will be there to compete with that are in our region.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.